Welcome back to another AMP tutorial. Today we're going to be using the Anchor podcast app. Now this app is really cool for doing projects where you need to talk about something because you can break it up into segments. So for example, let's say Lord of the Flies, I could break it up by chapter or by character or any of those things. So we're going to start out by clicking the record, which is the red section, and then on the bottom it's going to give you a red button that you can click, and that'll be how you record. It's going to ask you if it can have access to your microphone. You're going to click OK. So then once you start recording, you can record a test. Sadly, the way I did it, it's not letting me play the audio back to you. I wish it was, but you're just going to have to deal with me talking. So when you're done, hit accept, and you can trim and edit it from the trim button. I think there's about good, so I'm just going to leave it there. So this is just a test, and then you can play through it to preview as well. And when you're done with that, you can add background music under where you previewed it. And it gives you all kinds of cool categories as well as cool little bits of music. I'm going to check under beats and choose the harp. And then you can also import if you had other music that you had done on like GarageBand or music that you had downloaded. When you hit accept, it'll send it over into the other side, but I'm playing through it now. You can, well, it's a pretty long audio segment. So when you click accept, it's going to ask you to name it. I'm just going to name it test 1. And then you're going to click add recording to episode. And then it's going to ask me if I'm ready to publish this episode, but I'm not. So I'm going to click I'm not finished yet. So promotions, you can make money by doing your podcast by having sponsorships, but because it's school, iPad, and school app, I'm going to click not right now, and that'll send that away for the time being. So what if you wanted other music or to record with a friend? You can click under the record with a friend section, and in the top right hand corner you can airdrop them. I guess it's a code. I haven't been able to test this out, but then you will be able to record with your friend and you could both have input on the episode. Maybe a debate about Lord of the Flies or something. Now if you go down one more file, it'll give you where your podcasts have been recorded, or your audio segments have been recorded, or you could import more if you had chosen to use GarageBand to record before. This is where you have messages. For example, I had a question about an episode. I could send an audio file with that question, and then in the next episode, that person that created the episode could answer that question. And if you go down one more segment, you'll find some transition music, just like 4 and 5 second long little bits. And I'm going to choose one of them as a transition between my 2 test audio recordings. And I picked Rodney Scopes, which I think is a pretty good one. You can also choose sounds like door slam, spider, ta-da, mystery, and other things like that. But I don't have anything that I really need that for, so I'm just going to go on to the next segment, or the next section, I should say. This is where you could add music in if you had Apple Music or Spotify Premium, but I'm not going to link those today. So if I go back to recording, I can record my second test. And I'm just going to record something like, this is my second test. And I hope you use Anchor or something like that. And then it's going to pop up with something asking you to name that segment as well. And then you can click on the little play buttons and it'll play through them. And again, I'm sorry that the audio isn't coming through. With the three dots on the side, if you made a mistake and you want to delete one of the segments you've already recorded, you can do that from there as well. So right now it's just playing through all of them. And when you use it yourself, you'll be able to see the transition that it has with the music between the first and second audio recordings, or however you'd like to do it. Anchor gives you a lot of freedom in the different audio things that you can do. So when you're publishing your episode, you're going to have to name it, describe it. You can add a photo and everything like that. But for this one, I'm not going to show you me setting it up. So I finished, and it gives you all these different options to where you can share it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, things like that. But in order for your teachers to get it, you're going to want to say manually, I'll do it myself. And then when it shows up in the menu on the profile little page, you can share this episode, and I click to notes, and then it gives me a little thing that I'm going to put in a new note, and that's just a link that sends me to the Anchor website where this will be posted. So this is just a test of the Anchor audio system, and afterwards we're going to add a few other features. As you can see, Anchor is a great app for learning podcasting and for school projects as well.